Hey, how you doing, everyone? 111, that's a good number, isn't it? I like those numbers, 222, 111. I won't get too spiritual on you or too yogic. Oh yes, it's the universe, right? But 111, that's a nice number. I don't know. It's my brain probably likes that sort of thing. So welcome. I'm glad you could join. If you're joining for the first time, then God bless you. And if you've been here for 111 sessions before, 110 sessions before, then well done for making it this far and going on this little yoga journey with me. It can be a varied class, and we're going to do that today. We're going to make it nice and varied. We're going to move in lots of different ways. We'll look at the breath. We'll pay some attention to our physical body, and that's yoga, right? That's yoga. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were talking about stretching, right? Bumped into him on the road. He doesn't do yoga here. And he was saying to me, Dave, I've got these stretches that I'm doing. And he started stretching and showing me his stretches. And I'm like, just do some yoga, mate. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know. And I'm like, stretching's boring. So people get this idea that yoga's about stretching. I'm not very flexible, and it's not about that at all. And if you just stretch on your own, yeah, sure, you go for a run or go for a walk or you get on your bike, you can have a little stretch afterwards. But for me, it's not the most interesting. It really isn't the most interesting thing to do. And because I was explaining to him that yoga is a complete movement, right? It's a different way to move your body, and it's a complete movement. So you don't only just stretch, but you build strength. You build or you learn how the body engages and balance, and you learn how you move in between postures. So it goes beyond stretching, but you're stretching your muscles anyway, aren't you? Stretching the fibers. But guess what? When you're doing yoga, you're stretching the mind as well, right? And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's because you're not just working with this gross, I don't mean I'm gross, by the way. I mean, as the gross body, like the muscles and the fibers and the bones, the bits that we feel quite naturally. We're working at a much deeper level, right? And that doesn't mean that yoga has to be like this really deep spiritual practice where we wear baggy pants and we've got malas and beads on. And if you want to do that, by the way, I like a bit of that as well. But I also like doing yoga in just my t-shirt and my shorts, right? So it doesn't have to be a super spiritual practice. But the nice thing is about it is that sometimes we can connect this to this. We connect the mind and the body together, right? And for a long time in my life, this was totally disconnected. I didn't realize it. So yoga in essence, and I've said it probably 110 times before, is paying attention every time we get onto the mat. Pay attention to the mind, we pay attention to the breath, we pay attention to the body, right? But we do it in a really, really, really gentle way, in a compassionate way. Gentleness and compassion. What does that mean when I'm sitting on my yoga mat? Well, knowing that this moment, when you get here, is a commitment, and you made the commitment. You might be off in a minute. You talk too much. I'm out of it, right? But it's a commitment, right? It's a commitment to get this far. It's a commitment to get onto your mat and to be curious and to be compassionate to yourself. And then hopefully when you're compassionate to yourself, you can be compassionate to other people. Wow, the world's a better place, right? We break down all sorts of barriers that way. But it's about we keep coming back. And what we try not to do is we don't try and judge our practice. So I want to get flexible. Well, yeah, okay, that's all right. Or I want to get stronger. Yeah, all right, that's okay as well. Or I want to be able to do a headstand. Sure, you know, they're all interesting things to do. But what happens when you get to that point? You know, when, I can touch my toes, or I can get my palms flat on the floor, or I can spend 20 minutes in a headstand. What's the next thing that you're chasing? What's the next thing you're chasing? What's the next thing you're chasing? And as humans, we do this, don't we? We think if we just have this or we can do that, then we're going to be happy. And it doesn't work like that, right? So there's those two Sanskrit words I've spoken about before. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is the first word. And it just means regular, steady, consistent practice. Regular, steady, consistent practice. And that's regular once a week. That's cool. If it's once a day, brilliant. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And then vairagya is the other word which I love. Abhyas is the first, Vairagya is the second. Vairagya means release the outcome. Release the outcome. It's like when I first heard it, I was like, whoa, that's magic. Release the outcome. So I'm not doing it to get somewhere. You know, I can do a headstand now. I couldn't do that 6 or 7 years ago. What's it like doing a headstand, Dave? Well, it's all right. I quite like it. It's one of my favorite poses. It feels good to go up and invert my body. It feels like fun. It feels like when I was a kid, right? But it ain't going to change my life. It's not going to make me a better person. It's not going to make me kinder and more compassionate to myself and other people. It's just a step along the path. So we release the outcome. So with that in mind, how many minutes? 5 minutes 40. I promise you, we'll do some physical yoga, all right? But with that in mind, as you practice today, joyful movement doesn't mean you have to be like massive smile on your face and you're like, I'm in bliss and ecstasy. But don't beat yourself up for not being able to do anything or doing it different to how I do it. Because you'll see my practice, you know, I ain't like a, you know, what is a normal yoga teacher? But most yoga teachers are super flexible, super strong, and I ain't like that. I'm just Dave doing yoga, all right? So join me on my path, and thank you for joining so much. Hi to Irene, hi to Jackie, hi to Margaret. All the regulars are in. I'm going to go back onto my mat, and we'll start this physical practice of yoga. So feel free to have a little move around if you want to. Maybe move the body a little bit side to side. You can always drop the feet out in front, give your legs a little waggle out, whatever feels good for you. Waggle is a word, isn't it? We can use the word waggle. So maybe do this, you know, just drop the legs to either side. We do this a lot, don't we? Yeah, bring that movement in. And then let's kind of piece together some of the stuff that we've done over those other 110 classes. I can't believe it's 111 classes today. It's mad. Right, okay, so let's do a little bit of mantra. All right? Remember we did mantra a few weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. We did a couple of different chants, and we'll do that today. So we'll chant the Adi mantra, A-D-I, Adi mantra, and we'll chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo, Om Namo, O-N-G, Namo, N-A-M-O, Om Namo Gurudev Namo just means I bow to the creative consciousness in all things. I bow to the inner teacher within, all right? So our connection to everything, humanity, earth, you know, nature. We are nature, right? And recognizing you as the teacher that guides you along your own individual path. So rub your hands together at heart center. I'm going to chant it 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. If you've heard it before, if you know Kundalini Yoga, you'll hear this at the start of every Kundalini Yoga class usually. And if you don't know it, listen in, be curious. There's nothing wrong with projecting your voice, right? Bring your thumbs up against your sternum. We'll take a full round of breath, then we'll start on that second inhale. So nice deep inhale. And a full releasing exhale. And then we'll inhale and we'll start. So nice deep inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Deep inhale. Pause your breath and then just squeeze your belly in. So kind of suck your navel back towards your spine. Shoulders are relaxed, face is relaxed. When you're ready, you can exhale and just let the breath go and release the palms. Maybe have a little scratch in your nose. Or is that just me? Nice. And then have a little lean back and then just move the legs side to side again. If it's your first time, you'll be like, wow, this guy, he talks a lot and also he chants. I've done yoga with Adrian on YouTube. It ain't like that. I like yoga with Adrian. She's excellent. If you're looking for some free yoga to do online, check her out. Bring the other shin in front. It's a little bit of Sufi grind. So you're going to bring your hands onto your knees. Inhale the chest forward. Exhale round your spine. Inhale forward and exhale round. And then just get into a nice steady rhythm. Inhale in here and exhale in here. And if your spine feels a little bit tight, your hips feel tight, we all move in very different ways, then feel free just to bring smaller movement in. So maybe your movement is here. You know, it doesn't have to be as deep. Inhale here, exhale here. So you're just making these circles called Sufi grind or Sufi circles. Really nice way to kind of warm up, get into the breath, into the hips, into the lower spine. It's a really nice way to start your physical yoga practice. This is the asanas that we do, A-S-A-N-A, asana. That's the physical postures that people are more familiar with, I guess, than the more esoteric parts of yoga. Nice. Come back the other way when you're ready. Just circle in the opposite direction. And feel free to close your eyes or soften your jaw. Couple more complete rotations. And then inhale, come all the way back to center. And then a full release and exhale, let it go. Maybe through the mouth. Let's do one more like that together. So nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Bring your fingertips just down onto your mat. And then just press your fingertips down into the floor. Keep your left hand, no, that's your right hand. Keep your right hand where it is. Bring your left hand onto your right knee. And then just twist a little bit to the right hand side. Don't have to bring the hand behind you. Just come up onto the fingertips and find a very, very gentle stretch. So the right hand is on, or the fingertips are out on the right hand. The left hand is on the right knee. Nice deep inhale. Think about lengthening your spine and a full exhale. And then just swap to the other side. So bring your left fingertips down and then bring your right hand onto your left knee. Tiny little stretch here. Thinking about finding length in your spine more than anything else. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. One more like that. Your deepest inhale. And then your fullest exhale. Bring your right hand back and then press back into your fingertips. Really find some length in your arms. We're not doing a huge amount here, are we? But find that activation through your arms. Try not to sit with the shoulders like this, hunched around. Really relax your shoulder blades down your back. Nice. And then flatten your left palm down into the floor. And then on an inhale, just lift up through your right arm. Really lengthen out here. And again, try not to kind of yank the shoulder up too high. Kind of have a little bend in the arm. Deep inhale, just to find a little bit more length. But think about lengthening right down from the outer right hip, all the way up to the fingertips. And then as you exhale, just a little side bend. Deep inhale. And then a full exhale. And we'll do this movement. Inhale back to center, and then exhale. Just bring that right hand down by the side, and we'll move like that. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale to bend. Just a little bit of shoulder movement. Inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, side bend. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, elbow to the ribs. One more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Bring that hand down. Nice. Give the shoulders a little waggle. In fact, let's do this. Bring the hands onto the knees, shrug the shoulders up and down just a few times. So you might have worked out, if you're new to yoga, there's a lot of kind of cueing on breath. When we move the body, we work with the breath. So nice. Maybe roll the shoulders out a few times. And then come all the way back to center. Beautiful. Nice. Bring the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up this time. Beautiful. Inhale here. And then exhale into that side bend. Inhale to center. Exhale. Elbow towards the ribs. Bend it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to side ribs. Inhale. Final time. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. And then bring both hands down. If you want to swap your shins out, feel free. Try not to get too uncomfortable. And then we're going to build all that. We're going to go side to side. Okay, so left hand down. Inhale. Right arm to the left. Exhale, left arm to the right. So now it's more of a flowing movement. Inhale here. Exhale here. And you move in a way that feels good for you. You know, if you want to move a little bit slower, feel free. You want to move a little bit faster, it's all good, right? If you want to kind of come here and pause and take a couple of breaths, feel free to do that as well. But feel that freedom of movement, whatever the movement is, right? Don't think, oh, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, or I can't get there. That's okay. Don't go there, you know. Never push through any pain. Reasonable effort. Every time you do it, it should be reasonable, not too much, and certainly not too little. You know, you keep engaged, curious, compassionate. Yeah. 4 more either side. Inhale left, exhale right. Final one. And then bring the hands down. Nice. Nice deep inhale, final time. And then a full exhale. Beautiful. Lean back, bring the legs out, give them a good shake. Don't get uncomfortable here. Nice. Maybe have a little massage into the backs of the legs, the calves, the shins, the bottom of the feet. Might give the legs a little tap out. And then come with your other shin in front. We're going to do one more thing and then we're going to come onto all fours. So we're going to bring our hands onto the front shin. We're going to inhale the chest forward. We're going to exhale, we're going to round. So it's that movement. So the movement comes from your pelvis, lower spine. There's no movement in the head. Don't do that. Kind of keep your head nice and still. And if you want to move slowly, we did this last week. Remember, we do it in Spinal Care Week. This is a lumbar spine flex. So think about kind of moving the hips backwards and forwards. You're just kind of rocking a little bit like this. It's not a big movement. Inhale as the spine elongates. Exhale as the spine gently rounds. Stay nice and relaxed through the jaw, through the face. Just 30 more seconds. If you want to slow it down, feel free. Beautiful. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, let it go through the nose or through the mouth. Beautiful. And then lean back into the hands one final time. Bring the legs out. And then slowly we'll come all the way onto all fours. Do that very, very gently. Remove anything that's in your way. And then maybe just have a little intuitive move around here. Maybe press into the toes. And then come back to center, press into the other toes, lengthen one leg out, lengthen the other leg out. Beautiful, and then come back to all fours, and then lengthen the right leg out, and then maybe just bend into the knees, and have a little play around. You might draw circles with the knee, they can be big or small. You might want to down to the right knee, you might just want to bend into the knee, you might just want to lengthen the right leg out. But bring some movements in that feel reasonable, and then have a little play around with the opposite side. If you feel a little bit wobbly, then you can just gaze down onto one spot, maybe the top edge of your mat, whatever feels good. And then eventually come all the way back to center when you're satisfied with your movement. And then we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So it's a similar movement to what we just did, but now from this more traditional tabletop position. So inhale, drop the belly down, lift the head and the heart, and then as you exhale round the spine. So notice that my arms and my legs don't move. Maybe a little bit of movement through my legs, but otherwise the movement is all from my spine.
Inhale forward, exhale round. And like all those postures, if you wanted to move a little bit slower and be my guest, feel free. And then 3 more, maybe slow them right down. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Then as you exhale, bring your big toes together, split your knees nice and wide, or as wide as feels reasonable. And then just press your sit bones back, lengthen your arms and come into child's pose. Take a few breaths here, notice how this feels. You can keep it a little bit dynamic. And when I say that, I mean you can just move a little bit side to side. Joyful movement, remember, try not to be, even if this feels a little bit tight or, you feel like there's lacking in movement, it doesn't feel great, then find something that does. Maybe it's just a little swing of the hips side to side, massage of the forehead, maybe it's stillness you're looking for. Really drop the front of your body down, find that softness. Nice. And then if you haven't been still already, take a couple of rounds of breath in stillness. A nice deep inhale. A full exhale. One more like that, deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then with the hands stretched out in front, pull yourself back onto all fours. Beautiful. Really nice. And then we're going to tuck our toes in and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So we're going to kind of flow a little bit here, but from here, downward facing dog is going to where we're going to start. And you're going to put a really big bend into your knees. See what happens when I do that. I've shown you before, but some of us are like this, so our bodies are built where we're not super flexible, depending on what we've done in our lives. And you can see here, look, my legs are straight, my heels won't touch the floor, they never will, unless I get someone else's heels and feet. And you can see, look, there's that kind of bow in my lower spine. So what happens when I bend my knees? That happens where my spine elongates. See how high I can get my hips? If I try and muscle into it and I lengthen my legs, that happens. If I'm kind to myself and bend my knees, let my ego go, that happens. So that's where I am, and I'm always there, and then I might bend one knee, bend the other. So if you come out just to watch that little demo, feel free to go in and have a little play around, bend one knee, bend the other. Beautiful. And then from there, bend your knees and hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then maybe come right up onto your fingertips if you can. Walk your feet forward. It can feel a little bit awkward, especially on this first one, so it's okay if it is. And then separate your feet nice and wide. Nice. Grab hold of opposite elbows, and then try not even to attempt to come down low. Kind of hinge at the hips as much as feels good, and sway your beautiful body side to side. Maybe you think, oh, I'm going to bring the weight to my toes a little bit, and that's great if you do, but you don't have to, people. You can just move any way that feels good for you. There's no right and wrong. All right, bring your hands down onto the floor. Now, if that means that you really have to bend your knees, then do it. Then press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Bring your hands above your head. And then as you exhale, frame your hands to heart center. Nice. All right, let's go with a little bit of flow. All right, so inhale up, and then exhale forward. Nice. Inhale to lengthen, come up halfway, and then exhale to fold in deep. You do that 3 more times. So inhale to find length, and then exhale to fold in deep. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Final time. Inhale to find length. And exhale to fold in deep. And root right down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. 2 rounds of sun salutation A. I'm just going to adjust my mat. Not quite right for the camera. That's better. All right, so feet can be hip width apart. You've probably done this a lot of times before. From here, take an inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, fold in deep. Nice. Inhale to find some length. Come up halfway. As you exhale, your hands are down. Big step back with the right foot. Big step back with the left foot. A little bit like our down dog, but probably not quite right. So inhale, lengthen, come into plank. Remember with this one, spread out through the fingers, press the base of the finger down into the floor. If this feels too strong, please do this. Lower your knees down. Nice. Take one more deep inhale wherever you found yourself. As you exhale, lower to the floor. Either drop your knees or lower all the way down in one piece. Keep the elbows tucked in. When you're ready, tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale. Lift from your lower vertebra, not your chin, and then come up into cobra. Then as you exhale, all the way back to all fours. Then lift your hips. Come into downward facing dog. Take 2 rounds of breath. So deep inhale. A full exhale. Your deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Bend your knees into your hips up between the hands and gently bring yourself to the top of your mat. When you take the next inhale, lengthen your spine. When you take the next exhale, lower. Press into your feet, inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, hands to heart center. So every movement has a breath. All right, we're going to do that again, but we'll do it in a lovely variation. So inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step one foot back, then the other. Drop your knees down onto your mat. And then once you're back onto this all fours, then take an opportunity just to lengthen out through your right leg. Press into your right toes. As you do that, bring your left hand in the center of your mat. Turn your right toes to the long edge of the right hand side of your mat. Seal the inner and the outer arch of your foot. Then inhale and sweep your right arm up. Nice. So this is side plank, but it's an adapted side plank. You get all of that support down through the left shin, and then all of that length through the right fingertips, right down to the left fingertips. Nice. Take one more round of breath. So nice deep inhale, and a full exhale. Bring the right hand down. Come back onto all fours. Lift your hips. Come into downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath here. So deep inhale, and a full exhale. One more. Deep inhale. Full exhale. This time, we're going to bend our knees, get nice and springy, up between your hands, and then bring your feet to the top of your mat. Again, you might just step them up in a few rounds. It might be just in one. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to fold deep. Press into your feet. Root to rise. Come to stand. It's magic. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Here's the other side. It's coming up. Inhale. Exhale down. Nice. Step back into your plank, one foot then the other. Take an inhale here just to lengthen. Then onto all fours. Just drop the knees down. So we'll do the same thing. Lengthen out through the left leg. Press into the left toes. Bring the right hand in the center of your mat. Turn the left toes to the left edge of your mat. That's a lot, isn't it, to think about. Then lift up through your right arm. Sorry, your left arm. Nice. Can't lift up through your right arm, it's supporting you. So we're just on the other side. Maybe inhale, find that. Maybe roll that left shoulder back. Every exhale, press down into the outer edge and the inner edge of your foot. Really seal the foot and find the length all the way through that long leg back. Take one more deep inhale. Then as you exhale, hands to heart center. Tuck your toes under. Inhale up into downward facing dog. Nice. When you're ready, bend your knees, hinge your hips up between your hands, gently, in any way that feels good. Step to the top of your mat, line your feet up, inhale to come up halfway. As you exhale, fold, press into your feet. We're coming up, everyone. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just settle here for a moment. I like to do this. I like to bring my hand on my heart. Left hand on my heart, right hand on my left hand. Breathe super deep. Nice. So we're going to build up some side twists. So bring your hands to heart center and then lengthen out through your arms. Your hands are still in prayer. So when you look forward, you can just about see, not just about see, your thumbs are in line with your nose pretty much, with your eyes. And then what I like to do is open out to the right. So draw this right finger and the right fingers down the left arm, open out through your chest, and then the right arm opens out. Yeah, you can play around with the hands a little bit. You can go up, you can go down, you can have the palms to the side. Try and keep your hips square on. You can gaze down. Nice. Take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, sweep the right arm over to meet the left. Hands are back in front of the eyes, and then this time draw the left hand down the right arm across the chest, open it out. Be theatrical if you want, express yourself. You can turn the palms up and down, whatever works for you. Maybe look down the back arm. We're not looking for a really big bend or twist. We're just moving gently. Take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, sweep the left arm over, big circles, and then the right hand and the left hand come together. Bring the hands to center. Nice. And then what we'll do is, you'll probably want to make a little bit more room for yourself. Maybe come into the center of your mat. We'll turn to the side. You can stay where you are. Bring your right hand on your heart. Inhale left, exhale right. Just twist side to side. So we're thinking about opening out through the chest quite a lot here today. A little expansion with some bends and some twists, but nothing too strenuous. And this is more of a dynamic movement where you're just moving with joy, with a little bit of fun, side to side. We'll do another one a little bit like this in a moment. Inhale left, exhale right if you can get it. Beautiful, and then slow it down. Maybe bring the arms down, so they just swing a little bit. Nice. And then inhale, bring the hands so the palms will face forward. And a full exhale, let it go. Nice. If you gave yourself a little bit of room, come back to the top of your mat, and then we'll build a little bit more on the little movement we've been doing. So hands to heart center, inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, folding deep. And then this time, what I'd like you to do is just step your left foot back. And then maybe go nice and wide. Sorry, your right foot back. Let's do that again. Okay, hinge at the hips, step your right foot back, drop your right knee down, and then from here, come up and place a basket grip around your left thigh. Okay, nice. Just a couple of movements here. You can be a little bit flexy with it. Inhale, lift from the heart center. Exhale, sink down into the hips. Then inhale, sweep your arms up, and then bring the hands together, and then bring the arms out nice and long. And then the same thing again. Just paint the right hand down the left. And then open out to the right. Try and keep your hips square on. Really press down into the back foot and also into that all four corners of the front foot. You can look down the back arm. You can look to the side. You can kind of move a little bit, whatever feels good for you. Nice deep inhales, full exhales. Then flip your front palm up, drop your back arm down, and inhale, come into this kind of low, humble warrior. So you're lifting up through the front arm, the back hand is on the back of the right thigh. Nice deep rich inhales and full releasing exhales. One more like that, nice deep inhale and a full exhale. Nice. Bring the hands down, frame the left foot, and then see if you can just step the right foot up to meet it. And then take an inhale just to lengthen. And then as you exhale, fold in super deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Really nice work, everyone. Let's do the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, fold in deep. Here we go. Now it's the left foot. Left foot steps back up the left knee. Nice. Make a basket grip around the right thigh. And this is all about just finding a reasonable, comfortable shape. So at this point, lengthen the spine, shoulders relaxed. Press into the top of the back foot as you root down into all four corners of the front foot. And if that means you want to pad out the knee, feel free to do that. You can stay here if you want. You can inhale if you want, sweep the arms up, bring the hands together. As you exhale, bring the hands out in front, draw the left arm down the right, over the chest, open out to the left. Maybe rotate the palms up, maybe rotate the palms down. Breathe in super deep. Find a gaze point that works for you. Maybe it's here forward, maybe it's here back. Nice. Flip the front palm. So the right palm's up, back palm is down. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Breathe deeply down this right-hand side of your body. Really find that opening. You can look up if your balance is okay. Take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down. Frame the right foot. Tuck the toes on the left, nice and gentle. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale to come up halfway. As you exhale, folding deep. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, frame your hands to heart center. And then just pause here. Hands at heart center. Breathe in nice and deeply. Notice the effects of your practice. Really nice work, everyone. Beautiful. All right. You're going to give yourself probably a little bit more room again. Come into the center of your mat. Nice big bend in your knees. So it's like this. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. So think about inhaling light, exhale darkness. Now make this as active or as nourishing. It can be active and nourishing at the same time. Maybe it's releasing, it's like, you let it go. Make sure your spine feels okay, like a really gentle movement. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more. Inhale up. And exhale, bring the hands down, nice and slowly. Keep breathing. You can feel a little bit lightheaded. And then when you arrive, return to face you. Bring your feet underneath your hips. Bring your palms face forward. And then just take a few nourishing breaths here. Again, just noticing the effects of your practice. See how you feel. See if you feel that energy within your body. Let everything settle, freshly oxygenate your blood. Let it flow through your body. Really beautiful, nice. We're going to come to sit again. So if you want to do that in a chair, or if you want to do it, by propping yourself up on a few blankets, or if you want to sit up against the settee or the wall, feel free to do that. I'm going to sit on a little block here and adjust my camera just one little bit. Nice. I'm sitting nice and tall. My hands are no, they're all right. You can just about see my hands. Bring your hands so the palms are face up. And then if it feels safe, close your eyes just for a moment. Again, just letting the body settle. After a relatively vigorous class, there's been a lot of movement there, not a huge amount of stillness. Beautiful, nice. All right. So bring your hands onto your shoulders and then think about how your elbows are positioned. So try not to be too unbalanced here. So the inhale here is always going to be to the center. So it's a little lateral movement. So this is your exhale down to the side. Inhale up and then exhale down. And then just move like that a few times. Let me just move the camera so I'm a little bit more in shot. Nice. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. It's not about the depth. It doesn't matter how far you come down. Always inhaling to center, always exhaling to the side. Just let your head go with the movement. And as we kind of finish off the physical postures here, know that you've got your yoga practice to always come back to. A couple more times either side. Come back to center and then exhale, bring your hands down. Then a little bit of movement just into your neck. This will be the last physical thing we do.
So we're going to do something very simple. You're going to inhale your head over to the left, nice and slowly. And then you're going to exhale your head over to the right, just as slowly. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhaling left. And exhaling right. Stay nice and soft through your jaw. Any of these movements feel like you want to pause, or if there's any tightness, feel free to do that. Nice. A couple more times either side. And inhale, you head all the way back to center. And then just gently drop your chin down. Feel that stretch through the back of your neck. And then very gently bring your head all the way back to center. Beautiful. Tiny little bit of alternate nostril breathing just to balance everything out. This is a balancing movement, by the way. When I do this, balance it, balance it. So you're going to bring the left hand down, the right hand up. Right thumb will block off the nose. The right thumb will block off your right nostril, and then your left finger will block off your little. What's wrong with me? Thumb block off the right, ring finger or little finger block off the left. So it's that kind of movement. You can tuck the other fingers in if you want. You can go like that. All right, we got there in the end. Excuse me. So block off your right nostril with your thumb. Take an inhale through the left. And then close off the left with a ring finger or little finger, full exhale through your right. Inhale right. And then close off the right with the thumb, exhale through your left. Inhale left. Close it off, switch, exhale right. Inhaling through the right. Closing it off, switching, exhale through the left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. One more round. Inhale through the left. Close it off. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Final time. Close it. Exhale. Switch to the left. And then bring the right hand down. Maybe keeping your eyes closed or your gaze super, super soft. Notice the effects of your practice. And like I was saying right at the start, thank yourself for turning up today, for getting onto your mat, whether you've done this live or whether you've done this, as a catch up. You committed to your practice, you move your body, you move your breath, and hopefully you got a little bit curious. With that curiosity, you got compassion. You know that you're in the right place. And all the circumstances of your lives, even though they can be challenging, it is what it is. And we thank people for the joys and the challenges, or we thank the universe for the joys and challenges of our lives. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. And then just with a really nice wholehearted bow, wish yourself well and wish everybody else well. Satnam and Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. It's really nice practicing today. Hopefully you had some fun. Hopefully you found a little bit of compassion for yourself. That was the theme of the class. Thank you, Irene. Thank you for joining. Thank you to all you other guys for coming along. I'll be back here next week. Hope you have a great bank holiday weekend, whatever you're doing. Stay safe and try and do a little bit of yoga. Even if it's a tiny bit, it's great. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye.